There's a certain mystique to Oxbridge, and so the question I always hear is, how do I get in? I'm Faraz, I'm a third year at Keys, and in this video I'm going to tell you guys the secret to writing an Oxbridge personal statement. So what is the main difference between a normal personal statement and an Oxbridge personal statement? I think the main difference is the focus of the statement. I don't like to think of it as a personal statement. What I call it is an interpersonal statement. The statement, in my opinion, should be about you and your relationship with the subject, why you love it, and what you've done to demonstrate your interest in the subject. So this is, I think, the main difference. It's not really asking about you. It's asking about you and the subject you're applying to and why you're suitable and why you love that subject and how you've demonstrated this love for the subject. So in terms of actually writing one, the first thing I'd always start with is a good introduction. I mean, this is a writer's favorite tool. You just want to make sure you have a nice gripping introduction that gets a reader's attention. Because remember, they're going to be reading thousands of personal statements. You want one that they kind of remember. I think one really good way of doing this is a nice anecdote. Linked below is me reading out the personal statement that I used to get into Cambridge University Medicine. And I think it does a really good job of doing this, having a good anecdote that gets a reader's attention. But aside from that, other really important things is just going into detail about aspects of your subject that you enjoy and how you've demonstrated this through supracurricular activities. So this can be things like work experience, reading a book, enrolling in a course, etc., etc. Just really talk about how you've engaged with your subject and really demonstrated your interest and flair in the subject. So in terms of extracurriculars, I would definitely mention them. I mentioned them at the end of my personal statement, but I'll try and make sure you've linked them back to your subject. So for instance, if you're applying for medicine, you can link exercise to being interested in how the body works. If you're applying to law, debating is super relevant. If you're applying to English, you can talk about being a member of a book club, etc., etc. So definitely do mention your extracurriculars. Remember, you're not applying just to Oxford. You also have to have a personal statement that's suitable to other unis as well. But make sure your extracurriculars are linked back to your subject. As again, as I said as my first point, the statement's about you and your relationship with the subject you're applying to. Another tip I have, and I think this one's really major, is to have a nice, concise writing style. Because we all know about the UCAS word limit and line length limit, but the main thing is you want to be able to add in flashy bits of information, like bits of research, bits of books you read, super scientific things, without your personal statement reading like a research paper or an academic article. Because you still want to keep that point of view, you want to make it personal, you want to make it like it's sound like it's about you, but you also want to add in these little bits of flair, bits of detail, etc. So having a nice, concise writing style really helps with that. And my personal statement linked below is a really good example of this. So there you guys have it. That is my brief guide to writing an Oxbridge personal statement. I think one last point I just want to make really clear is make sure everything you guys write down is true. Because you can be asked about it at an interview, and if you know what you're talking about, this can really make your interview a really nice experience. Because if you're asked about your personal statement, you're talking about things that you're familiar with, which is where you want to be. But make sure everything is true. Make sure you can talk about it in detail if asked about it. And I would definitely just practice answering questions on your personal statement when it comes to interview season. Thanks guys for watching my guide on how to write an Oxbridge personal statement. If you guys are new here, make sure you subscribe. And make sure you check out sigmamed.co.uk if you guys are sitting the BMAT this year. Me and my friend Hamza have put together a BMAT course that consists of over 60 videos and over 50 worked examples that teaches students everything they need to know about doing well on the BMAT. Thank you for watching.